Welcome everyone, back with the latest time trial video, where I go through my best lap, and show you if I'm able to get gold, driving in automatic. And hopefully show other drivers who attempt this in automatic, that if I was able to be fast enough, then it can be done. Sometimes, I'm not fast enough, or the elite drivers make the gold target out of reach, and I'll have to switch to manual. I'll showcase those laps in these videos as well. I do all my driving on controller, and in time trials, I drive with assists on, which are countersteering, ASM, ABS, and traction if needed. I'm also using the braking area, apex markers, and chasing one of the leader's ghost. The second part of this video will be the chase cam view, so you can see the full position of the car through turns as I'm driving. With all that being said, let's jump right into the lap and show you how I did. This week's time trial is at Brands Hatch in the beautiful Ferrari Testarossa. I have my traction set at 2, and I have the custom wing on the Ferrari. Turn 1. I'm using this green paint on the barrier, and I start braking just as it's passing off screen. I let off as I'm passing over the second last bar, let it coast, and get back on the throttle as I'm coming off the inside curb. Next turn, I'm using this thin strip of black paint on the barrier, and again, I start braking as it passes off screen, let off pretty much at the end of the area, let it coast, then back on the throttle when I feel I'm rotated enough. For this left, I'm using the first red bar, and start braking about halfway through it. I let off at the top of the second last bar, let it coast, then back on the throttle as I hit the apex. Here, I use the one board, but as you can see, I'm braking quite a bit before it. Around this point, I let off as I'm passing the end of the last bar, coast until I've passed the apex, then back on the throttle. One main thing with this car is you can get back on the throttle sooner than it might feel, so don't be afraid to play around with it, so you can figure out what works for you. For this turn, again I'm braking quite a bit before the marker I'm using, which is this 2 board. I let off as I pass the third last bar, coast, and back on the throttle as I've passed the apex marker. For this right, I'm using the red paint on the barrier, and start braking as it passes off screen, then let off just before the last bar, and back on the throttle as I hit the curb. On the next right, I'm using this green paint on the barrier, and again brake as it passes off screen, let off at the top of the second last bar, coast over the curb, then back on the throttle. For this left, I'm braking right at the start of the area, then let off as I approach the last bar, let it coast, then back on the throttle as I hit the curb. And you want to try to do a better job than I did at staying off the grass, which I did a few times during this lap. Final turn, I use the 2 board, and start braking just as it passes off screen, let off at the end of the second last bar, coast past the apex marker, then back on the throttle towards the exit. My previous time was done with just my traction set at 3, no regular assist, so gold is possible without them. I got a 138.262, a minuscule amount shaved off from my previous record, but all in all still a little faster. I'm thinking this time should be good enough to make it to the end and keep me in gold standing, but you never know. Now I leave you with the chase cam view. Hope this video can help all my fellow automatic drivers get themselves that gold. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you, and see you in the next video.